Alrighty. Start with the team comps. Um, your team comp is a little bit all over the place. Nasus wants to split push, and apparently he bought a call. Okay. Um, Nidalee, low elo Nidalee is probably cancer. I'd imagine she's not even that good at higher elos right now. So I can't like the problem with Nidalee is that she needs to land spears, and bad Nidalees have trouble landing spears, and people with keyboards have trouble getting hit by spears. So, ugh. Unless she really knows what she's doing and she's just like abusing the shit out of this Rengar and just taking all of his jungle, I don't see this working out. Um, and the core of your team, like that can actually team fight, are you and your bot lane. So, like a good Annie ult followed up by a Tristana and Sona, or a good Sona ult followed by an Annie ult. I guess now that they changed your ult to have a slight delay, that's what you'd be looking for to win team fights. But these guys get very hard behind. That's going to be a problem because then you're relying on like you three, like you and the Nid can make picks too. Like if you want to work with your Nidalee to make picks, that can work as well. Because if you stun someone, they'll have a hard time using their keyboard to dodge Nidalee spears. Um, Playing versus Syndra, this matchup should be fine. You know, you're Annie. That dank 40% damage reduction is a nice time for Syndra, who presses R. So this lane should pretty much be about farming, unless this Syndra does something crazy. She has 19 AP. What the fuck? I mean, she has 4 AP. Is she taking move speed quints or something? I can't tell until she gets out of base. The enemy team comp, on the other hand, is really good at making picks too. They can especially make picks out of the middle of your team. Like Alistar can make picks in the middle of your team, Rengar can make picks in the middle of your team, Cinder can make picks in the middle of your team, Ashe can make picks in the middle of your team. So they're like a weird kind of team fighting comp. Like you guys can probably beat them. Like if you three get fed, or if like you and the Tristana get fed, you can win team fights. But if you don't, this team can they'll just pick you apart one by one really easily. All right, so let's see. I want to see what the Cinder has because this something is really weird. How do you only have 19 AP? Does she have like AP blues? Is she taking like 2 AP quints and then, or 1 AP quint and 2 movement speed quints? Like, what the fuck is happening? 345. Okay, so she has some movement speed. I guess she is taking movement speed quints, the more you know. Um, shouldn't mean much versus the queen of point and click herself, but we'll see how it goes. I hope you buy pink words. That's all I have to say.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
Ooh, those early wards. We all see us now, boys. Alistar top. That's something that I have no clue how it works. So maybe I'll learn something today. We can all learn something.
Minions have spawned.
Ooh, that Annie rank 5. Let's go. Show me those Annie mechanics. Okay, so if you want to trade back on her, you need to be in a position to like Q her when she tries to CS these minions. So, I mean, you'll probably get this health back over time anyway, but yeah, like she's getting those for free and she shouldn't be. You can walk up and do this. Yeah. You don't need to be so afraid of her. Level 1 Cinder damage is one of the most underwhelming things in the universe. So, unless you get hit by like 3 Qs in a row, you should be fine. Yeah, okay. You had the level 2 advantage there. You need to abuse this. Alright, people shouldn't, like, if you have a level 2 advantage, she should get hit by 2 spells, and she shouldn't be able to do anything in return. So the fact that you backed off here is really weird. Like, you need to be in a position to abuse this. What did you take second? Yeah, you should, like, instantly skill up your W and just QW this bitch. She should take so much damage. Because look at what Dark Sphere does. It's 50 and 14, so that's 64 damage. Whereas you do 80 plus 30, that's 110 damage. And then you get this, and you're going to do 102 damage. And what is she going to do? What does her E have? 70 plus 9. You outtrade her so hard. Even if she hits level 2, you should just outtrade her a million times. What you don't have any MR. She has some MR, so it's going to be a little bit closer. But she should pay for this. Like, she's not respecting right now. Like, you got level 2. She should have to Q the CS and not be able to hit you. So, yeah, you need to abuse your laning advantages and position. Alright, so I'd wait as long as I can before you hit this. Yeah.
First blood.
So I don't know why you're standing back so far when you see this Rengar. Okay. You win trades versus her. It's good that you're responding, but at this point it's too late. Like, she's already getting out. You don't need to be over here. Are you gonna go for an early roam? It's gonna be really hard to kill this guy. Like, you don't know if what he's warded already or not. Apparently he just doesn't notice you though. He's gonna walk into turret and just die. Oh, you shouldn't have flashed there. There is no point flashing. Like, he's already gonna die. Like, getting XP is enough. Going for the gold is kind of greedy, and you'll need your flash versus Syndra. So, like, once he ran into tower, you probably should have just walked away. Because he wasn't gonna get out no matter what he did. So you just lost a lot of XP and a lot of gold for that. Feels bad, man. Yeah, that was not worth. Okay. So, if you want to roam early on a champion, like, look at what she did right there. That's what you should have done to her early, by the way. Like, when she walks up for CS, you should have punished her for that, but you were not in position, but she put herself in a position to be able to punish you when you did that. That's the kind of way you should think about it. But early roaming doesn't work on a lot of champions. If you want to do that, play something like Lissandra, because Lissandra level 3 roams are actually one of the scariest things in the universe. But the other thing is, if you want to do a cheese roam just to like counter it, and you want to make sure it works, don't go this way. Going through river is the biggest fucking roam trap in the universe, because there are a million wards in river, right? There are a million common warding spots. Um, if you want to make a roam that works, your best shot would be to like go through here, right? You want to go around and over, because he will not have his tribe rush warded this early, and most of the time he won't have his tribe rush warded at all. And if he does, it's going to be pinked. But if you come around from behind him and he was up there like he was, he's not going to do anything. And he's probably going to be a little bit further pushed in. Like, look at where the wave is right now. So he's probably going to be like more close to like right here. And this could have worked if you'd come this way. But I think that the path you took was just a little bit too greedy. And I think that if you shouldn't have roamed in the first place, right? Like, he died, and you guys got a kill for that. But you look at how much you lost mid. She has a 10 CS lead on you. That's almost a kill worth of gold. Just so you know, 11 CS equates to about 1 kill. So you went top and you got your top laner a kill, but you lost XP and you lost gold that was equal to the kill. So it's not worth it. It didn't pay off. Just use your Q to last hit. At this point, that's what you need to do. Just be setting up for the last hits. Because Annie will gain all of her mana back if she just uses Q to last hit, and you need your mana back right now. So, you should only be using it to last hit. Or trade if the Cinder does something really stupid. Yeah, she's using all of her mana. Oh, you shouldn't have hit that. Yeah, that would have been hit by the tower once, and then you could have killed it. Oh, this poor... Yeah, she's just getting out jungled. The Rengar counter jungle is in effect. Oh, you're dead, Nidalee. Yep, unlucky. She should have just backed off. Alright, so what do you buy? You're going for Roa? Buy a pink ward, yes. Okay, thank God. Buy a pink ward, ward that. Here's your play. You're probably going to miss all this CS anyway, so instead I would just walk straight through here and ward this. Because you don't want them to see you place the pink ward. Because that way it lives longer. I mean, they probably won't look anyway, but that's just a good habit to get into. So at this point, you want to just be setting this CS up for tower. So leave this one where it is and hit the other one. Use your Q to last hit. It gets its cooldown like half refunded when you last hit. Yeah, you don't know your damages. Holy, this Cinder just wants to use all her mana. Yeah, you're just getting punished. Like, you should just be setting up for last hits. She could just ult you and kill you. Yeah, you got hit up by a bunch of skill shots. You're just getting poked out. I think in this lane it probably would have been better to go Abyssal, because Cinder is just the kind of champion that's gonna do tons of damage. She went fucking tier, and she's still doing that much damage. Yeah, you're just getting hit by skill shot after skill shot. I would have gone like I would have gotten some MR, and eventually you'd want to get boots. Just for the record, if she hits you with a W and she ults you, you're probably dead. Holy, this Cinder is just laying it on. Yeah, this lane kind of sucks. You're getting harassed a lot. You're already 20 CS down, so that's pretty much a kill. Oh my god. If this Cinder had more mana, all I'm picturing is just like this Cinder like QEing her once and then Ring her and her dying. But okay, you have 6. You're looking for the bot roam. You're lucky they don't have any wards here. You guys could just do dragon instead of this, to be honest. Like, chasing this kill isn't necessarily worth it. Okay, so you force her off. Now you should just look to clear this wave as quickly as you can, instead of chasing. This chase is so bad. Okay, yeah, you just need to clear the wave right now. Clear the wave, push it into tower. And you really need to learn how much damage your spells do. Because I'm just seeing you miss so many CS, not last hitting them with Q. Like, you should always try and last hit with Q when you have the opportunity, because it gives you cooldown and mana, if I remember correctly. Yeah, it refunds the mana and cooldown. Mana costs and half the cooldown are refunded if you kill the target. Yeah. So you should be using your Q to last hit as much as you can, instead of whatever you're currently doing. And to do that, you need to like know your damages, and I can really tell that you don't, because you're missing so many. Like that's one of the Annie's a really easy champion, but that's one of the things you have to learn with her. You have to know when you can kill someone. You have to know when you can kill a minion, because those kind of small mistakes are really cost you. Because part of the other reason this lane is so bad isn't just because Syndra is successfully harassing you over and over again. It's also because the Syndra is harassing you over and over again, and you're not correctly using your spells, right? Like if you were at least getting some mana back by last hitting the minions, that would be one thing. But you're not. Okay, roaming. Okay. One thing you know is roaming through river is bad. There's just like a million common ward spots that there are. There's like one here, one here, one here, one here, one there, right? So if you walk through there, you went around this way, which is what you should do, but you're giving up a lot of CS for this. Okay. That's unlucky. Look at how... Okay, you missed your bear. Feels bad. That was greedy. Look at how little XP you have right now. It's fine to just sit in lane. Like, you don't need to roam to make Annie work. Eventually, if you just farm hard enough, and you should be able to get perfect CS on Annie because you can last hit with the Q that has its cooldown halved and its mana completely refunded. So you should be able to get perfect CS. You'll eventually have enough items where you can one-shot the entire enemy team. But right now, like, you're throwing away all this XP in lane and you're throwing away all this gold in lane. And this Syndra, like, even though she doesn't have any kills, she has like 3 kills on you with CS alone, 3.5, because 11 CS is worth a kill, and she has 38 CS on you. So that means she has effectively 3 kill advantage on top of you. And because you're never in lane and you're not getting any XP, she has a 2 level advantage. Life is gonna really fucking hurt when she hits level 9, right? Like, you won't even be able to show up in lane because you're just so far behind. Your support is the same level as you. Everyone on the enemy team outlevels you. You're just like not ever in lane, and you should be, right? Like, you're giving up way too much to try and make roams happen. And roams need to happen naturally. There's a natural progression for roams, and the natural progression is this: you push wave in, right? And that either happens because you all in the enemy, not necessarily all in, but you just poke them down with well-used Qs and Ws and things like that. So you push the wave in, and then you place a pink ward somewhere, preferably right here, right? Because this gives you a path to go bot lane, and the bot lane should be pink warding this too. And so then you push the wave in again, and then you roam bottom. That's how roams work. But you can't just like not push the wave in and let your laner stay there and just walk away and do something, because you're gonna just bleed XP and gold. You are gonna be the most useless member on your team at the rate you're currently going at, because you're not getting enough gold to get a Roa early, right? Like, this Roa is going to come online so late, and what are you going to do? You're just not gonna do much. The Sona on your team is gonna fucking outdamage you at this rate. Yeah, look at that. She is so fed right now because she's essentially been free farming. If she was better, and if she knew how to like properly CS waves with her spells, she would have a much bigger advantage than she currently has right now. And that's already a pretty fucking big advantage. So you've just let her get away with this entire game, and you've done absolutely nothing.
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
She has 40 CS on you now. That's another kill. And she got an actual kill. So now she has a 5 kill lead on you. 5 kills worth of gold over you. Four kills now, Kappa. But most of the enemy team has at least a 2 kill lead on you with gold with CS alone. So you're just bleeding way too much. And now you don't have a mid tower. Like, this is so bad. This is so bad. Your team loses so much vision pressure when you don't have a mid tower. And this is completely because of you. Right? This is because you're trying to make these weird roams that don't make any sense. And you're losing so much for it. This Syndra can fucking one-shot your entire team if she really wanted to. She doesn't know how to play properly. Like, that was a fucking double or a triple kill if she was a better player. Right there. That's how fed she is right now. Look at this. This is disgusting. This is absolutely disgusting. The fact that she's getting away with this tier build because you're just not staying in lane and you're letting her free farm is disgusting. Tier Syndra is happening right now. When that thing is fully stacked, she's going to be like God. You're not going to do anything to her. You also don't know your W range. But yeah, you're just giving up way too much to make these roams happen. So she has 4,800 gold, and you have 3,300. So that's 1,300 gold advantage on you. And she has the turret. Do you have enough to finish Roa? I guess. You should have stayed to CS this wave. Because she's probably not going to push up to your tier 2. She's not that ballsy. And you should get this CS. Because again, this is just gold and XP going to waste, which you need to come back in. Because you're so far behind. Yeah, like, a third of your deficit right now is just because of you. All this gold that you're down right now, a third of it is due solely to you. It is not due to your bot lane. I mean, that's the other part of it, but... So you are more than losing this game right now. Oh, we'll see. Maybe you make a comeback. Ooh. Okay. For point and click spells, like your Q, you can press Q on an enemy champion that is out of range and flash into range, and your Q will automatically go off. It's called input buffering. And she probably wouldn't have gotten her ult off there if you had input buffered your Q. And that if she'd played slightly better, your Nidalee would have been dead. But if you had Q flashed, there was no way your Nidalee dies. So just for the record, that's something that you should learn to do. This is kind of dangerous. Rengar's up. Your jungler is really low. You guys should just back off of it now. Excuse me. Hey, you got him. Don't forget to E yourself. You'll take a lot less damage if you do that. Or top lane.
Executed.
If you want to play Annie like this, you should honestly just play Annie support. So you know they're all gone. You should suspect that they're at least on Dragon. Okay, you know they're on Dragon. You have a ward here.
Red team has slain the dragon. Killing spree.
Got another one. But yeah, you're placing way too much emphasis on like warding and roaming. You're throwing away way too much gold early on. And that the biggest problem with it is that you're throwing it away early on. Like, because gold that you get early on is a lot more valuable than gold that you get later. That's how snowballs start. Oh my. But they just got such a huge influx. Cinder just got such a huge influx of gold early on. And that's going to allow her to just become a monster. So. Okay, so all the objectives are down. Baron is coming up. You have pink ward, yes. At least you're buying pink wards. It's the best thing so far. Better than 95% of players. Oh, stolen away. So now you're getting an abyssal. I would have gone for an earlier abyssal, or at least I would have gotten the Negatron cloak earlier. Okay. This Cinder has Flame Horizoned you. She has 10 kills worth of gold on you in CS alone. All right. And this is because you've given her a free lane. You're like, well, you know, she's Cinder. She can CS really well. Like, yeah, she can CS really well when she doesn't have a lane opponent to lane against. This is ridiculous. This is absolutely insane. She should not have this kind of CS advantage. Ever. And this is, like I said, because gold early on is a lot more important than gold later. You let her have all this free gold early on, and now it's snowballed. And she's just able to instantly clear waves. And you haven't done anything to her. You haven't been a threat at all. 2,200 gold from CS alone. You need to place a lot more emphasis on CS because you're just like, oh, feels bad. Don't want to stand this close. If that Cinder was smarter, she could have eat you there. Because she did have E up again. I play a lot of Syndra. You haven't placed your pink ward. I guess that's because the... Ooh, the hit. Oh, goodbye, Tristana. I feel when they use everything on the fed... Or the feeding Tristana. Feels bad, man. Alright. Yeah, you said like, what could I have done better with my feeding bot lane?
Red team's turret
Um,
has been destroyed.
you should have stayed in lane and CS'd. That's what you could have done better. Like if you had more items, if you didn't let the Cinder get all this for free, that would have been infinitely more useful than all the roams that you've been trying to make happen. So now I suspect you just get bled out, and the enemy team has a hard time closing out the game because they're bad. I mean, the later this goes, the better it is for them. Like, even with a, Alright, so something's happening bot lane. Oh, you're wasted. Okay, never mind. Tristana's wasted. Hey, never mind. Flash is wasted.
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
Okay, so Nasus is split pushing. This is how you do win, by the way. If Nasus is pretty big, farm wise, kill wise. Like, he's the most ahead player on your team. So if he can just, you're gone. No, you shouldn't be up that far. You should just let them have it and let Nasus keep split pushing. Like, when you have a split pusher on your team, your biggest objective. Sorry. My mic. Your biggest objective is just to not die while he's split pushing. Because now all that's going to happen is because all of you are dead, you have no pressure, so they all get to back and stop him from taking anything.
Red team has slain the dragon.
But yeah, Ashe, Soraka, Rengar. He should just go for the inhib. Holy. I guess not if you can just two-shot the enemy ADC. You can probably two-shot this guy too, honestly. Hit it once. There you go. Okay, this is why this game goes to 40 minutes. This Nasus is putting on his carry pants. Yeah, but when you have a Nasus who's split pushing, or just anyone who's split pushing, the objective is just to not die, not make fights happen. If you have no ward coverage in here, you shouldn't be in here. You should just sit in the lane and clear CS. And you don't want to go outside of your tower range because you're against a Rengar. That's what all four of you should be doing. And then you should just let the Nasus do his thing. All four of you should be mid together. Goodbye. And you shouldn't be up this far because they can just kill you. And since you only see one here, you should be pushing. Right? Because that means they're probably all trying to kill Nasus. So you guys need to do something. Like right now, you could just, all three of you go to Baron. Oh no, you're missing your Tristana. Never mind. Yeah. The call here would have just been to push mid hard as you can. While they're all busy bot. You probably could get the T2 in back. Or at least chip it in back. But instead now you're probably going to die if you don't back. You can't be up this far anymore. Right? Because you don't know where anyone is. You shouldn't have stayed this long. The fact that you're going to get away with it is kind of like you're lucky that you got away with it. Because you should die. If they had responded, if they had moved quicker, you would be dead. And this Tristana should not be this far out. Okay. She should also, this is also a bad call. You need to wait for this wave to be here before you can clear it as a Tristana. Because otherwise, if Rengar's in this bush, you know what happens to this fucker? He's dead. So, you should ping him. Never let ADCs go out alone. They have this habit of when they're feeding to just keep feeding, right? It's double lift syndrome. He's just going to split push to the end of the time, and you can't let him do that versus a Rengar. You should be pinging him saying, hey, they have a Rengar on the enemy team. You need to be careful. Because otherwise, as soon as this guy's ult comes up, and it has a really low cooldown. Yeah, it's like 1 minute. As soon as this guy's ult comes off cooldown, you know who's dead? This guy. 100%. Yeah, and this is what you get for overstaying in mid too long. You're going to die now. You should have just gone towards your team. Oh, wow. Okay. I guess that works too. Feels Annie damage, man. Here you go. Seraph Syndra has reached late game. Meanwhile, Nasus putting on the carry pants. Yeah, this Nasus is trying his damnedest, dude. He can win this game for you. All you guys need to do is let him split push and not die. That's all you need to do. This bitch is dead. If the Rengar is greedy enough, this bitch is dead. Yeah, she's dead. Come on, Rengar. I know you want it. She is so dead. Shit, the flash. Okay. Come on, Nasus. Split push. All Nasus needs to do now is go bot. He goes bot. You guys go towards this Baron. You should have a pink ward instead of the fucking Doran's ring that you have here, or the Amp Tome. And you guys should just set up around this Baron, like put one pink ward there, and then push a lane. Right? You guys push mid. Nasus pushes bot. And the second they send too many for him, you guys go and take Baron. That's how you win. Right?
Red team's inhibitors respawning soon.
Reminder that 4,000 of this 5,000 gold deficit right here is due to your lack of CSing. Quick reminder. The fact that this Tristana is like 05 and 0, but she has more gold than you. Or she has almost as much gold as you, and she has almost as much gold as her lane opponent. Right? You should have so much more gold if you were just CSing, but look at this look at this fucking Syndra. Look at her. She is insanely fed. She is out of this world fed. She will kill anything. And that's because you just let her sit and free farm in lane. So 4,000 of this 5,000 gold deficit is due to you. This is not due to your bot lane. Like, they could make up for it if they weren't 0 and 5, but they're not. So it's you that's being carried this game, even though you have 4 kills. This CS deficit is unforgivable. Holy shit. Oh. You go, fam. Holy shit, this Nasus. Can you guys end the game? Oh, you have this inhib up. You guys should take the inhib. Just take the inhib. All you need to do is take the inhib now. Yeah, you just need to zone him off. You don't want to go this far up, but
Has been destroyed.
this is kind of greedy. Yeah, you guys shouldn't do this. This is where you call the back. This is where you call the back off, because you're not going to be able to take this without minions. Nasus isn't that fed. Oh, that's a delayed flash. Oh, Nasus is just going to walk out casually. Nasus shouldn't die here. This is bad if he does. Oh, he's just going to walk away. Feels Nasus main. There's like some Searches level disrespect right here. Bitch, do you remember how much damage he does? I'm gonna remind you. Oh my god. What is he building lifesteal? He has fucking Death Dance. This is hilarious, actually. Yeah, Spirit Visage, Death's Dance, Trinity Force. The I press Q and heal back all of my health build. The classic. You guys shouldn't be bot side. Just give up the dragon. You're not going to do anything. You guys don't want to fight for this. Like I said, your only objective that you care about is towers at this point, because this Nasus is the only way you win. There's no reason to contest this. Just let Nasus split push. Push mid and let Nasus split. Again, all you need, one ward on Baron, one pink on Baron. Push mid. They all come for Nasus bot, and you guys do Baron. This is how you win the game. Holy. Oh, nice. He picked off the Soraka. Okay. Oh, yeah. That was a good Zanya's. That's what you needed. It's good to build Zanya's versus a Syndra, by the way.
Red team's turret has been destroyed.
There you go. You're getting away with this. Like, you're lucky this Cinder isn't a good player, because this Cinder could have picked a couple of you guys off in these past team fights. Go bot! Go bot, Searches! Yeah, I don't know why you're going for this. Like, you didn't abuse this inhib being down at all. It's gonna come back up soon. I mean, this is nice, but yeah, the only one that should be split pushing from now on is Nasus, because he's the only one that can possibly survive the Rengar. Like, Tristana should not be here. This is a death sentence versus some Rengars, depending on how much they want to kill the enemy ADC. Pink wards for this. You should be buying pink wards even this late. It's especially important this late. One pink ward on Baron. That can be the difference between winning and losing this game. Yep. Tristana's dead. She should not be here. This is the dumbest thing I have ever seen. Yeah, this is what I said. Like, you need to tell these fucking ADCs that like live on throwing the game that they shouldn't be doing this. Doing that versus a Rengar is the dumbest thing in the universe. And you should tell them that. Like, they should know it, but you should tell them that. They should be able to like not be fucking brain dead. And now this is a throw. Like, unless something insane happens, this is a throw too, because Rengar is going to be here in time. Oh my god, Cinder has Void Staff.
Red team's inhibitors respawning soon.
Yeah, the Cinder was better. This game would be gone. Everyone should be grouped here. Okay. Tristana should never be left alone. Alright. So now he needs to split top because he needs to be near Baron. And he doesn't have TP. But again, you guys should just be mid, ARAM it up. Yeah, Nessa's being bot is kind of greedy because they can just do Baron. He won't push fast enough to be able to respond with the inhib tower. Once they see him, they can just go to it. You guys need to immediately push this wave. This Soraka should die here. Nope. One pink ward, which you should have instead of a Doran's ring. Right here, on Baron. You guys need to be pushing mid or top. You can go top, that would probably be a good idea. Because you need to push this wave in. Like, draw some pressure. Oh. Yeah, you guys need to be together. All the time. This Tristana is dead. Yeah. You need to say, okay, whenever your versus a Rengar, you need to 100% communicate it to your team that you need to be together. Once he reaches this stage where you can just ult someone and they always die, you need to be together. That's how you play against Rengar. Four of you, everyone that's not the split pusher that can survive him in this case, this guy, should always be grouped together. You should always be standing next to each other. All right, and if this Tristana doesn't want to listen, then you know what you have to do? You have to stand next to her. You have to say, okay, if you're not going to group with us, Tristana, we're going to group with you. And you just fucking stand next to her. Because you will always be stronger when you are together. And Rengar shouldn't be able to kill all of you before you kill him if there are four of you together. So, just always stick with always stick together. Because this is how you throw versus Rengar. You should all be topside with her. Because, like, Trying to make a pick happen versus this team isn't going to work. That's the other thing. Like, there's no point sitting in this brush, because if you try and make a pick happen versus this team, they'll just pick you. Right? This is a Rengar and an Alistar with an Ash Arrow to back it up and a Cinder Stun that's on the way. Right? You cannot outpick this team. You'll just fucking die. And because you don't have any ward control and you don't know where their wards are, it's very likely that you fucking die. Right? If they had this worded, you know what happened? These guys would have like sat here jacking off and spamming and laughing their mastery emotes, while this Ashe just sits here and like the second she's like in decent range, she ults you guys and you guys both die. That would have been fucking hilarious if there was a ward here, right? Instead, she's probably gonna use it on her. Holy, she didn't even need ult. Yeah, this Cinder's fed. The double flame horizon is in the future. She can kill anyone. Like, that bitch is dead. 2 spells. Didn't even time that right. Oh, Syndra, you gone. It's over. Yep. Yeah, you guys just aren't playing this right at all. Like, this is one of the few champions that can split push against Rengar, and he's not doing it. I imagine because he's trying to placate you guys who are like, you need to group. But if that's not the case, let him split. The rest of you group as close as you fucking can get to each other physically. Like, your characters should be like all 4 on top of each other. And you should just sit in a lane together all the time. That's how you play versus Rengar. So, and yeah, the Tristana should know that she shouldn't be solo. But you need to tell her, okay? Because you will climb if you communicate with your team and tell them, hey, do not be solo versus Rengar, because that prevents 3 of these deaths right here, I believe. Right? All you have to do is communicate with her, and if she listens, great. And if she doesn't, then you know that you have to group on her. And all 3 of those deaths could have been prevented if you did that. You could have prevented 3 of her deaths if you'd just done that. And so, yeah, she's feeding, but you can stop her from feeding, too. This is bad. This is bad. You are way too far apart for playing versus a Rengar. She's dead. Consider a Rylai's, by the way. Like in this case where you just need to be tanky, right? Rylai's would be pretty useful. The Rengar isn't one-shotting you, like, right now. You have enough health that he's not. He's getting close, but he's not. And applying Rylai's all the time with your goddamn berry is one of the most obnoxious things in the game. Yeah, this game is just falling apart. I don't know why you guys are doing what you're doing. Good night. That's probably game. The most fed Syndra in the universe. Okay, yeah. A lot of this game was just on you. This Syndra got to free farm and stack up a tier build and get to 40 minutes. You know, Syndra is really good at farming, and she'll probably have more farm than you late game. But your jungler almost has as much farm as you. This is bad. This is so bad. You should never get that behind. Never get that behind in farm, because Annie's pretty damn good at farming by her own too. Right? Like, if you're going to talk about champions that should theoretically always get perfect CS, Annie is one of them. Right? And then, it doesn't always work like that because mistakes are made. Not everyone's challenger, not everyone's faker. But this far behind is, like, unexcusable. You are not going to be able to climb if you let this happen. Or don't force early roams, right? Like, Annie is not a champion that you want to do, like, level 3 roams on. Unless you're support. Like, there's no reason for that to happen. And even then, level 3 Annie roams are bad. Right? The only reason Kiwi Kid did it is because he knew he was bad. So he just did cheese, and it worked sometimes. Kappa. If you want a level 3 roam, if that's like your thing, if you like to do early roams, pick something like Lissandra. Lissandra is really good at early roams, right? Like if you want to cheese a motherfucker, you cheese a motherfucker with a Lissandra roam. That is 100% more reliable than Annie roams. Um, but yeah, this is bad. The other thing was you just need to know how to play versus Rengar in the late game, and that involves everyone being right next to each other. If you're a team fighting team, or if you're a team with a split pusher that can survive the Rengar, that involves the split pusher being in the side lane and the other four of you sitting on top of each other's dicks. All right, when your Tristana's feeding like that, when your Tristana's doing that, you need to communicate to her, hey, you need to be grouped with the team. All right, and you just say you can't let her be alone like that. And if she just like ignores you and she's a bitch, then you group on top of her. If that's what it fucking takes to stop her from feeding 4 more kills or 3 more kills that she doesn't need to, that's what you fucking do. All right, you sit on top of her dick, you stroke it for her, you make her feel like she's the goddamn queen of the universe if you have to, because that can win the game for you. Right? It may not be fun and it may suck that this person's being an asshole, but you can deal with it and you can win. All right? You could have prevented that. Like, yeah, she should know how to do that on her own, but you can prevent it. That's how you win these games. You just need to always be on top of each other. You move as a 4 man unit when you are versus a Rengar, 4 or 5 man, depending on if you have a split pusher, like this guy. But this guy felt like he couldn't split push because you guys were just jacking off and always fucking up and not playing the 4v5 right. Right? Like this Nasus could have won the game for you if you guys had played it better. Right? In this case, that's how you let him carry the game for you. You group as 4, you sit on top of each other's dicks, and let him split push. And if they send 3 for him, that means you should have a pink ward on Baron because you're pushing as 4 and you're warding as 4, and then you guys just do it immediately when he splits. And you can call for this. You can write all of this out in chat, and people will listen. All right? I know it doesn't sound like it, and I know people tell you to just mute everyone anyway, but you can do this, and this will win you games. So yeah, this is a point where communication could have won you some games. You also need to know your anti damage because you did not. You missed a lot of CS that you shouldn't have. Like I don't know if you're new to Annie or if you have bad ping, or what, but that was really weird. I don't think you main Annie. I haven't checked your OPGG, but just from looking at this, I don't think you main Annie. Um, Build wise, I assume you're probably going for a Rylai's after that. I'd hope so instead of a Death Cap, because Rylai's is infinitely more useful, right? Because at this point, you're already so far behind that you're much more about the utility. So if you get a Rylai's and your bear just slaps people over and over again, then um, that helps you because one, the health from Rylai's synchronizes with your passive. Two, your passive and that health from Rylai's help you not get one shot by Rengar. And three, that helps you chase down or not get chased down by things like Alistar, Ashe, and Syndra. So I think Rylai's would have been a good third item here if that's what you were building towards. If you weren't building towards that, you should be. Um, but yeah, this was an unfortunate game. Like it was completely on your shoulders. Like this game was lost by you. I'm not even joking. Like you were the number one reason your team lost. Um, this is not your bot lane feeding. Like you could have single-handedly won this game. Like this scoreline is so deceptive because what actually happened in game was nothing like what your scoreline suggests. The Cinder free farmed and did 1 million damage, and you guys didn't group together and stick it out and let your Nasus do what he needed to do. So I hope this helps. Good luck in your future games, fam.